Beautiful, thank you. Okay. So just again, a huge big welcome to all of you for being here and for those who are also watching the replay. Just a little bit of an overview of what today's call is going to consist of. We're going to start off, as I do with all my webinars and gatherings, with a grounding and connecting meditation. And then I'm just going to speak about the Virtual StarLion journeys, and Simon's going to speak a little bit as well about from his perspective of assisting in the preparation, giving you some practical information. And I'm hoping we'll have some of the past participants sharing some of their experiences as well, just to give you an idea of how it all works. Then there's time for questions, and then I'd love to close with a heart meditation, which is kind of my lead into all the work that we do on the virtual journey itself, connecting with Mother Nature and clearing the heart to receive information. Okay. So I'm just going to share this beautiful photograph of Zukara and Matsiang, who are the grandsons of Mara, who's the founding lioness of the project. And during the meditation, you can either just rest your eyes on their eyes, or you can close your eyes and just follow my voice. So if you could just get yourself ready, make sure that you're very comfortable. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Feel your feet firmly on the ground. Take a deep breath in. Fill your lungs completely before taking another breath. Feel your entire body relax and sink into the chair that you're sitting on. Feel the solid ground beneath you. And as you do that, just focus on your heart center, your heart space. And become aware of a beautiful rose gold colored light that is surrounding you, making you feel warm and safe. And as you breathe it into your heart space. So you're breathing that light energy, which is the symbol of Mother Nature's unconditional love. Feel it, see it, as it fills up your heart center, cleaning and clearing any anxieties or worries or negativities that you may carry in your heart at this time. And now become aware of your own unconditional love for all of nature's beings. and feel it start to expand and mingle, combine with the love of Mother Nature. And you'll see and feel that it vibrates on the same frequency, this frequency of unconditional love. From that heart space, you now can create a field of unconditional love. And that field starts expanding from your heart and it expands throughout your body and beyond the boundaries of your physical body. And it expands into the physical environment that you're sitting in. And this field is the field of connection. This is the space where you can connect with all beings. At this frequency, there is no separation. No, there is no separation. We are all connected. And as this field expands, start feeling the connection with all that is, with all of nature's beings, the animals, the plants, the insects, every cell. The molecules of water, the soil that you walk upon, all the other beings, including human beings. In this field, see and feel the connection that you have. As we set our intention for this gathering today, to receive clear guidance for whatever you need at this time, that the intention, your intention for joining this call is fulfilled. And we create this safe space in this field. As we are here connecting with the sacred white lions, you can ask your spirit guides, your spirit team to be with you in this space as we move forward into this call. You can slowly become aware once more of your feet firmly against the ground, this beautiful earth supporting you at this time. And feel the connection that we have with each other, everyone that is with us on this call, and with all of Mother Nature who is supporting us at this time. When you're ready, just be aware of your physical body and you can gently open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment. And what I normally do is draw a lion card, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with it, for guidance for the group. If you put your view on speaker view, you'll be able to have a better picture. So this card is always an interesting card to draw. Nebu Sphinx. So I'm not going to go into details about it now, but it's just feel into that energy, and it's always about the wisdom of nature as well. Okay. I'm just looking. It sounded like there was someone unmuted during the meditation. So can you just make sure that everyone is muted until we have the questions and are ready to speak? Thank you. Okay. Yep. All right. So I just want to go through, the intentions of the journey of when we started creating these journeys and how they've evolved over time. So the main intention the whole way through is to connect with the energy of the land and the lions and all beings of nature in the heartlands. And that is always the overarching intention, and to really listen to the guidance of Mother Nature in order to guide your way forward, for the participants to be able to move into doing their work individually, as well as perhaps as the pride, as the group in their own space, but always guided by nature. To become more familiar with interspecies communication. So we go much deeper into how we can work with interspecies communication, and what the animals are actually asking of us. Heartstorm with Mother Nature. So really, instead of brainstorming, we're really heartstorming new ideas, new concepts, a new paradigm, a new way of being. Obviously, to receive information, to find out how we can assist at this time, and then also to find out ways of taking action, whether it's in your own life, to support your own work, or is it to support the Global White Lion Protection Trust and the StarLions, the Heart Pride, to take some form of action from the information received, because we are in critical times, and people, even if the action is just focused meditation and visualization, people need to act through the guidance of Mother Nature, and we call that sacred activism, and that's what we'll be working with, love in action. So we'll be learning all about that during the journey, I hope. That's how they've always unfolded in the past. So just a brief mention about how the journeys started. And of course, they started in 2020 during lockdown, when the whole world came to a standstill and there was no travel allowed. And I'd already planned a in-person journey. And of course, that couldn't happen anymore. So I literally was in meditation one morning, and it came to me that this is what we could do. We knew that there were webcam things happening, and I'd been doing webinars for a while already. So how could we start bringing people to the heartlands without them having to physically travel there? And this is a concept that we developed, and the first intrepid journeyers were personally invited, so that I kind of knew if it didn't work, then it wouldn't be too much of a stress, but it worked amazingly well. And I feel the reason why it worked, it wasn't just up to us planning it. It was the lions and all the animals on that land who showed up for the camera, and they just showed us that it's possible. And of course, the journeys have they've evolved. So the very first journeys were much longer. That was 6 days, and it was very intense. Very beautiful work, but very, very intense, and not a lot of people could take the time or actually, afford the contributions that were needed for that length of time and the work that it took to create that. And so we found a perfect formula in the end, which is this 4-day journey. And I want to just show you, in case you're not familiar, exactly where the heartlands are. They, of course, is Southern Africa. When we were, the first journey that we did, Simon and I were living permanently in Cape Town, and we actually drove all the way up because we couldn't fly. And we drove all the way up to Tsao Conservancy. It took us 2 days to get there, and that's where it all happened. We now are based in a place called Wilderness, where that little dolphin is. And now, of course, we are able to fly. And just a reminder that if you look at this map on the left, the closest town is somewhere called Hoedspruit, and the heartlands are about an hour's drive from the center of Hoedspruit, and there's this golden line there is the Nile Meridian, which if you do follow Linda's work, you'll know that is how this all started. Okay. This is a Google Earth picture of the center of the heartland. So this is where the journey actually takes place. This is the area where the lions are roaming free. And the campsite is Camp Unicorn, is this little block over here. This is a sacred circle that has been created for Mother Nature. This is the main house called Tula House, and where most of the staff live. And then you'll see more of it, but this is just a brief kind of glimpse of, you really are in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so after that overview, I just want to talk a little bit more about the preparation, and I am going to hand over to Simon to, just because he speaks about it so well, about how important it is to prepare for this, to prepare yourself for this journey, to prepare the space, to be aware of the time, and all sorts of other things. So Simon, can I hand over to you now?
Yes.
If that's all right.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Wynter. I just wanted to go back a stage because as I recall, the two main reasons for doing the virtual StarLion journey was because of lockdown and because people couldn't attend. So we wanted to create as close as possible an experience for people to be able to communicate with animals, collect the messages from nature as if they were actually there. But also, in practical terms, the Global White Lion Trust was dependent on people traveling there for a huge amount of donations to keep the lions fed and the whole project running. And these just simply dried up. And so, the fact that people can now attend, albeit virtually, has opened that flow of funding in and really kept the project alive. Obviously, they've got donors from other places as well, but that was also the other main idea behind this, wasn't it, Wynter?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Because that was the trust relied, the bread and butter, so to speak, were always the groups, and of course those dried up. They still actually they still aren't happening. There's a few very specialized groups that have been invited to come, but the general groups, the regular groups, still aren't happening, and that's why we're still doing the virtual journeys. But even if they were happening, I think I'd want to carry on the virtual journeys because they give people an opportunity to attend, those people who aren't able to travel. And so that is, I suppose that's it in a nutshell. It works on all sorts of levels, still giving people the opportunity to support financially as well as experience.
So the concept was always to try to create a scenario where you were there, but you just hadn't traveled 100 miles or 1,000 miles or 10,000 miles, and so in order to prepare to go on a white lion journey, anyway, you would be packing your suitcase, you'd be getting house sitters in, dog sitters in, you'd be sorting out your family, you'd be leaving messages on your phone and saying that you're not available, all that sort of thing. And really, we want to do the same, except you just don't have that big long travel arrangement. So the hope is that you can create a quiet, safe space, because this is a retreat for you. It is for your benefit, but you know that if you benefit, the animals and nature will benefit as well. So give yourself the quiet, sacred space if you can. Do the shopping beforehand, have enough food in, and just try not to communicate with the outside world. If you were at the White Lion camp, you would not have internet, you would not have phone signal. And so, you would be doing this anyway. Just create the time and the quiet space as it says on the screen there. If you're living in a city or a town or a major conurbation, then some of this might be difficult for you, but it is important a lot of the time that you do have time in nature, whether it's in your garden, if you've got one, or in a local park, or you can go to the sea or something like that, because I think the meditation and contemplation in nature, where you can receive further messages whilst not being online, is a huge thing as well. Because the fact that you're online is also, it's not a negative, but you don't want to be staring at a screen for 3 or 4 days. You want to try to minimize it. And so we make the most use of the time that we've got on the screen. But a lot of your work and the experience you'll have is in your own space. The other thing, the meals will be provided for you if you'd come on the camp, on the trip. And those meals would be vegan, in support of Mother Nature. So we have the most wonderful chef, Eleni, who Wynter and I have the physical pleasure of trying the food, and she's a lovely lady as well. But in preparation, we've provided a meal plan, which you're very welcome to follow. And if it's difficult, then it's understandable you may not want to or be able to. But there are resources on that we supply that you can follow these things, and it's great to practice before then, and it's fun. You might learn new things as we have done. The other preparation that we suggest is essential is the technology. You're all on this call now, and it seems to be working for you, but you need to make sure, obviously, that you've got power, Wi-Fi, internet access, whatever, on a consistent basis and on a good basis. You need to be able to have video calls in order to talk to us and for us to talk to you, and for you to communicate with the community that you'll be working with as well. So yes, try to give yourself a retreat. and the preparation for that is really going to help. And I'm sure we're going to hear some of the past participants who've been there talking about their experiences, which is usually very helpful. So I think I've said all I wanted to, Wynter, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go through just in a moment. I'll go through the actual daily agenda, and just a note about how on a practical level, what we are doing, because we're in the remote bush and there aren't the facilities for sort of Africam webcams during the, in that space. So what Simon and I do, we go out in the mornings and we ask who's going to show up, and we actually do video footage of whoever is there showing up, as if we're on a normal bush drive that you would be participating in if you were here physically. Excuse me. And we do that within a couple of, it's only there's the time lag is maybe 1 or 2 days. And we take the raw footage and we create about an hour's viewing time. And there's no editing at all, really. Simon does the edit. It's basically cutting and pasting, just cutting out the really bad bits. So you get a feel of exactly what is happening on the morning, and there's only a couple of days. It would only be a couple of days in the past. Just to give you a sense, and I'm going to actually ask Eleni, would you be happy to speak about your experience and how it worked for you?
Of course, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Eleni from Greece. I've done this journey a number of times and I'm looking forward to it once again. It's magical. It's really, really beautiful. And every time it's evolving into something even deeper and more profound as an experience. And the learning from the animals and nature, it just gets so wonderful and so important during the times that we are shifting towards the new earth, as I understand it. It has been incredibly helpful for me to escape, so to speak, without actually leaving. I have a number of animals that is very, very difficult to actually leave behind. So it is wonderful. And it's amazing how at times I can see them joining in, being quiet when they wouldn't be under other circumstances, or experiencing that space with extreme reverence, knowing that we are literally in the presence of the wild ones, the wild and wise ones. It has been extremely helpful for my work, and I believe in everyone's in the heart pride as well, because we are so able to connect not just with nature and animals and plants and minerals, but with each other. And we are realizing that it's not just the support of nature, but it's the support of like-minded and like-hearted people that we find the support that we need in our daily projects of being of service towards nature, whether it is rescuing animals, whether it is working in permaculture gardens, whether it is looking at the stars and reading what they have to tell us. We all come together and we co-create and we feel into what's next and how can we better assist each other and every living being on this planet and beyond, of course. So it has been wonderful. People say that, there's no such thing as couch activism, but I've learned that there is such a thing as couch activism. We join our hearts and we actually do incredible energetic work in support of various projects that are guided by Wynter and Linda, and projects that each one of us have in their hearts and we share among us. And whoever wants to join in and wants to send supportive energy and healing, or just love, or just a prayer, or just a thought, it can happen. And we're no longer alone. for me, that was the most important and wonderful thing, that we're all together, and it's just magical. My heart races even speaking about this, and it's just really, really beautiful, and I'm extremely grateful to have the chance to share that. Thank you.
Oh, Eleni, thank you so much. And I just want to, you said that so beautifully, and on a practical level, you know, I know you've shared in your little video on the StarLion journeys how it felt, you know, even though you're working with the videos, it feels like you're there. You know, it really does. The sounds and you could almost, Janine, I know you've said that before, that
Absolutely.
you can almost smell it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now the earth and the rain, it's just
Thank you. But I am going to call on Christine, because I think you're probably one of the ones that is in a different time zone, so you had to kind of move things around a bit. I'm going to talk about the time zones just now, but could you share how you made it work for you, Christine?
Sure, Wynter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eleni, for sharing. I just thought, if Wynter calls on me, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I can talk about time zones. So I'm in Canada. I'm in the Eastern time zone. So I am 6 or 7 hours behind South Africa, depending on the season. And I have done the Virtual StarLion Journey from my home. I've done it off-site by staying at a friend's or my parents' home when they're not there, depending what's available. It does require some preparation, but it would if I left. And I find that the journey is so much more enjoyable when I have created the sacred space for myself. So a little bit of planning, alarm clock is your friend. You don't have to look glamorous. I join calls in my pajamas in the middle of the night. And it's quite normal, having been on these journeys, that when we get together, some of us then go back to sleep and some of us are awake, but there is time to be in nature. There is time to watch the videos again. There's time to process. There's time to gather together in the community chat and share the messages. I used the provided cookbook and I shopped in advance. Some of the meals I cook in advance, sometimes I just cook there. But honestly, I mean, this is my work. This is what I do, interspecies communication, but this is probably some of my most favorite sacred work that I do year round, is to come on these journeys. It is a personal favorite, it's a professional favorite, coming together with these people. It's well worth the effort. It's still much easier than, you know, driving to the airport, getting on a plane. Yes, there's jet lag. The one tip I have beyond your alarm clock and preparing meals in a nice quiet space is I build in a couple of days afterwards, if depending on your schedule, just to allow a re-entry into the world as we know it, both time and emotionally and spiritually. But I can definitely, I've been on, I think, 3 of these, and I'm coming again in October for my 4th. And anytime I'm available, I come, and it's well worth the effort. What I receive in return just literally propels me, fuels me, time zone difference or not.
Oh, thank you, Christine. It's absolutely perfect. Thank you. And I hope just those 2 sharings has answered some questions for everyone. And let me just go back to the share screen so I can go in a little bit more detail. This is an image of the Camp Unicorn, where I actually set up and where we normally have a good internet connection. Sometimes we have to change spaces. That picture of the tree house in the middle of the bush, that was one place where we had to run the journeys, I think on our first and second ones, because of really bad internet connections and something called load shedding, which we have in South Africa, which is when there's electricity cuts. But it always works, and it's getting easier and easier the more often we do them, because we know all the right spots and the good spots. So just to go through each day, the first day, if you've managed to have a look at the itinerary, you'll see that the first live gathering is at 4 o'clock Lion time, which is what we call South Africa time in the heartlands, in the afternoon, and that's with myself and Linda, where we set our intentions. We create the sacred space and the ceremonial space. So it's basically an opening ceremony. What I want to remind everyone is also that the actual live gatherings are not recorded. So you do need to show up. That's the whole intention of this journey, is to show up and work together at the same time. So that's why it's so important. The alarm clock is so important. We want to create this feeling of community, of all being there together once you've signed up. If for sometimes things happen, and that's okay, you just let us know and we can update you during the day. Day 2 and 3, we get up early at in Lion time is 6:30 a.m. and we start. You have the day. So at 6:30 a.m. you will get a link to so that you can view the video footage of the from the last couple of days, and that's when you start connecting into nature and connecting with the animals who've shown up. We then have time to either sleep or to journal and meditate and process, there's a community forum where you share some of your findings as well. We gather again in the afternoon to actually do some workshopping around the messages that have been received, and also the first day I do a little bit of a teaching about the heart method and how to be as effective as you can with your time in the connected space. Day 4, which is the last day, the Monday, again, we do the morning meditation and bush visit or lion check, and the afternoon is a closing with myself and Linda as well. I have put those times. Those are just the 3 main times that people who've attended before, and also there's the European time, which I think is the same as South Africa time still in October. So this community forum, we've changed it a little bit, because in the past journeys we used an app called Slack, which was a separate app that had to be downloaded. That has now become sort of unfeasible to use because they've changed all their subscription criteria and access to it. So, but fortunately, on my Learn site, those of you who have either watched any of my webinars or enrolled in any of my courses, you will be familiar with my the Animal Talk Africa Learn site, and they have sort of rehashed and uplifted their community forum spaces. And so I've managed to create one for this virtual StarLion journey. And this is just a screenshot, but what I want to do, I'm actually going to share. Oh gosh, sorry, I keep doing that thing. I'm actually going to share my screen so that you can see how it works. So you would sign up if you're not already registered on my Learn site. You just sign up for free. You'll get a dashboard like this with all the courses that you might have participated in. And in the bottom is the communities. This is a hidden community, so you'll only see it if you're invited to see it. So once you've registered, you click on it and you'll see there's all these different spaces. There's a place where you can introduce yourself. I see Simon's already introduced himself there. There's a place for questions. There's a place that all the resources will be set up. And there's also a place that you can access some of the courses and the heart gatherings and global prayers that are relevant and prerequisites for the StarLion journey. So it's all very easily accessible. We've also created the link where you would join everyone in an event. So you'll be reminded of the times and the links to join there. So it's actually a very easy community forum compared to what we were using in the past. And it seems very easy to use. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a real win. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that this is how we're going to be sharing information during the day. So because we're not together I didn't want us to be online for 8 hours, actually, doing the webinars. So that's what, this is a place to share, to ask questions, to find information in your own time. It's just a map of some of the past participants where they've come from and participated in. Also, what has come from the Virtual StarLion Journey, the founding members of what we call the Heart Pride started the Sacred and Wild campaign, which was focused on the lionesses, the rescued lionesses, Alpha and Omega, and who are in sanctuary at the Heartlands after a tragic event. And this tragic event actually happened just before one of our Virtual StarLion journeys. And people connected with them. They had just been rescued, and through our work we managed to find sanctuary and safety for them, permanent sanctuary for them at the Heartlands, and we continue to work with them in order to improve their circumstances and to assist them assisting us and assisting the Heartlands. So you will find out more about that campaign and about them when you're on the journey as well. The Heart Pride was something that was established. The Heart Pride membership site was something that was established from the founding Heart Pride members, because we realized that from the very first journey that this work didn't need to stop after the journey finished, that we could continue working as a pride with nature. And that's what we did. And then we realized that that could be expanded to more and more people, even people who perhaps hadn't been able to come on the virtual journeys, but still wanted to do this heart work. And it's worked very, very well so far. So a few prerequisites, if you want to join, is some knowledge of interspecies communication. So you don't need to be an expert or a professional animal communicator, but some knowledge. So if you've done some webinars, if you've done some courses, then, and you know the concept and you've had some experience with interspecies communication, that is really, it is needed, because we're not, it's not teaching the basics of animal communication. The heart gatherings are webinars that I've been doing since 2019, end of 2019, beginning of 2020. And that was inspired by some elephants that we were working with, and in turn inspired this heart work. All the replays are available for free. If you can watch one or two of them, that would be perfect. The Global Prayers for Lions, which was started with Linda and myself in 2018, when South Africa was looking at the captive lion situation. And it kind of gathers a history of the process of lions in South Africa. And if you can watch some of those, there are some that we've done quite recently actually as well. And from August 2018 is when it started. And then there's a Heart mini course, which is on Animal Talk Africa, and you can, it's not live anymore, but the replay and all the resources and the course content is still up there. And when you sign up for that journey, for this journey, I would want you to actually participate in the Heart mini course, and that you can access for free when you sign up. And that'll give you a real overview of how this all works. Of course, the contributions, we need to have financial contribution to make this work, and to obviously to assist and support the White Lion Project. So what we're asking for is £300, $400, 6,000 South African rand. If you can't afford it all at once, we can make a payment plan. If you are already official member of the Heart Pride and you signed up when the membership's opened, you do get those discounts as well. We can always make a plan, so we never want money to be a reason that you can't attend, but just note that we also need the funds, and the Lions need the funds to continue to assist us as they do so beautifully, so that we can assist them. Hope that makes sense, what I've just said. Okay, and just to introduce some of the team members that make this all possible. There's Mama Weena, she's retired now, but she still is at the trust and giving support. There's Eleni, that's our chef. Ruben, who's our guide. There's Linda and all the ladies working in the veld. Gorgeous and Madash are two key players, role players, and then Asnat and Tanika in the kitchen, and Champs and Chris are two of the managers as well. So if you want to join, just go to the starlionjourneys.org. We can give you the link in the chat. And also just, you can send an email if you're struggling to find it, bookings@starlionjourneys.org. I want to take a few questions now, if that's possible. If you'd like to ask some questions, and then we're going to go into the heart meditation. Okay.
Wynter.
Yes, Janine.
I just wondered, the picture of the bush with a unicorn and Tula House in it. Could you show where the fence is around that, so people can see how, it's, because you say sometimes it's normally it's the wildlife in a cage, when you go to a zoo, but in this case it's the humans in the cage.
Oh, definitely. Oh, the fences for the yes, I can do that. Yeah. So let me just go back to that slide. So really the fence is literally, whoops, I clicked, sorry, is literally surrounding the camp there. Actually, it's like that. And it extends down to the river now. They have opened it up so that they can, because there were actual animals coming into the camp as well. So there's more space for them. But the boundary of the actual properties is way off this map. So there's a lot more space. It's a 1,200, this area of land is 1,200 hectares, if that means anything to you. And of course, we're on the Claseri River there as well. Does that help, Janine? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I know I've been quite detailed in my explanations. So if we don't have any questions, I'm very happy to go straight into the heart meditation. But please don't be shy if you do have something. You can write it in the chat, or you can just raise your hand and speak.
Wynter?
Yes, Christine.
It's not so much a question, but for those that are new, Jilly, Eleni, Sue, Janine, myself, we've all been, and we've been on these info calls before too. And people sometimes ask us questions too, because we've been there. So you're also welcome to, direct questions at the participants rather than the organizers, if that's more comfortable.
Thank you, Christine. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Okay. And if you're watching the replay and you've got some questions, just use the email and contact us. Okay. All right. So
I think Alison's got a question.
Yes, Alison, you've got a question. Yes.
Well, I wanted to share something today. Before the call, I have a oracle card, Spirit of the Animals, and I wanted to know what I needed to be guided in today. And the links came up, and what it said was, take time out from the world and be the observer. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. So I thought, okay, I'm going.
Beautiful, Alison. Thank you. Thank you, links as well. Yeah, that's so perfect. Well done. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I am going to share my screen again because we've got I've got that wonderful picture of, Mara. There she is. And this is Mara when she was, remember Mara was the one that was the founding lioness, born on Christmas Day in a place called Bethlehem in South Africa. And it took 4 years for her to get to freedom with her 3 cubs. And she is now in spirit. But this photograph was taken quite soon after she was released into the wild. She has a radio collar on there so that she could be looked after and made sure that she was safe in the area. So once again, I'm going to ask you to just rest your eyes gently on her beautiful lion eyes, or if it's better for you to close your eyes. I'm actually going to switch my video off so I'm not a distraction to you. Okay. So remember that we are still in this field of unconditional love that we co-created. Once again, feel your feet firmly on the ground. Take your focus to your heart center once more. breathing in that rose gold light, just to make sure that your heart, just for this moment, is clean and clear, that any heaviness is transformed into light. Feel your heart lifting up. Feel that heart energy moving throughout your body, helping you to become centered and in alignment. Feel the connection that you have with the StarLions, those who called you here today. Thank them for being here. As we are here in this field, ask permission from them to connect and to receive guidance at this time. Stay in this field of connection. As you wait in silence, you may ask a question. And let us just stay in silence for a minute. And as you are in this field, in this heart space, become aware of every sensation, every image, every feeling. If there is a message for you, you will receive it. Or if you need to just be in this space, then just be. Slowly become aware of your breath and your breathing. Come back to your heart space and thank the lions and the animals and the ancestors for their support and their love. Feel the strength that you have in your heart. Feel the courage to do the work, to listen to Mother Nature. She is our greatest teacher, and we can ask her to show us the way forward. Know that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people. The human people, the animal people, and the plant people, and all the other realms of people that we connect with on this heart level. Feel that ground supporting you, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And you can come back into the room with us as we end our gathering today. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. And if questions come to you after the call, as I'm sure they will, please don't hesitate to email. And you can email me personally. I'll just write it in the chat here. I've got my glasses on. That's my personal email address if you need to. You can copy and paste that. And I'm hoping that you will all be able to join. And thank you, the past participants, for being here and for assisting and encouraging people. So thank you for all your work and support. Thank you, Janine and Simon, for co-hosting and doing such a good job. Thank you. Simon, do you want to say anything?
No, you've said it all, and so have the others. And we haven't heard from Sue today, but no, you've been on 2 or 3, haven't you, as well, Sue? So it's great to see you back, and Gilly as well. So it's a testament to the work that is being done and the continual enjoyment and the community that's being created. And I look forward to seeing others joining that community.
Yes, the sense of community is immense as it grows. It becomes part of the widerness of interspecies communication, really. It's a great privilege to be part of it. You will enjoy it.
Thank you, Sue. Okay, everyone, so I think it's time to say goodbye and hope to see you soon. Lots of love. Thank you.